The community comes together to walk, run, and honor the life of Cole Brings Plenty in the second annual memorial race. Several events are scheduled leading up to the University of Kansas Powwow and Indigenous Cultures Festival, and we sit down with Powwow Coordinator Jancita Warrington to learn more. The Haskell softball team opened up their brand new stadium. GMIC's news partner KUJH with Eli Greenwald shows how this new stadium is beneficial for both the athletes and the Indigenous community. Those stories and more coming up. Stay tuned. Welcome to Good Morning Indian Country. I'm Allison Levering, and we're coming to you live from our studio inside of Stauffer Flint Hall at the University of Kansas. Supreme Justice Sonia Sotomayor is on the KU campus tonight. GMIC's Caden Baird joins us from the Lead Center with details on tonight's event.
I'm here at the KU Lead Center where moments away, U.S. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor is going to be talking to KU students and staff about what's happening in the U.S. right now. Coming up on GMIC, I'm Caden Baird.
It has been a beautiful day here in Lawrence, and I'm hoping this weather continues. What do you think, Emma?
Thanks, Allison. Well, it does look like we might still get to see some glimpses of that nice temperature as the week continues. Temperatures are going to continue to rise throughout this week and into early next week as well. Unfortunately, with those rising temperatures is also bringing it some pretty healthy amounts of rain also arriving later this week starting around Thursday and Friday. Strong wind speeds are the consistent factor this week as well, with the potential to get all the way up to 40 miles per hour this week. Taking a look at Wednesday's forecast, a bit of a rise in temperature from Tuesday, high of 78 degrees, partly cloudy skies all day long. This is the day where the potential for those higher wind speeds is going to come into effect, potentially getting up to 40 miles per hour. But throughout most of the day is going to remain pretty consistent at 24 mile per hour wind speed, still a pretty gusty day. Taking a look at our hourly planner, 12 p.m., 70 degrees, sunny skies. That wind is already going to be at around 23 miles per hour, remaining pretty steady by 2 p.m., but our temperatures have risen up to 74 miles per hour. Between that 2 to 5 p.m. range is where we're going to see our potential high for the day, as by 5 p.m. our temperatures are all the way up to 76 degrees, capping off for the day before dropping back down to still a pretty nice 68 degrees by 8 p.m. Wind speeds are also decreasing just a little bit at around 5 p.m. down to 20 miles per hour, all the way down to 11 miles per hour by those early evening hours. Wednesday night's forecast, low of just 53 degrees, still pretty cool outside, partly cloudy skies, transitioning into clouds overnight. That is also going to carry over into Thursday morning's forecast as well. Wind speeds dipping down just a little bit to 14 miles per hour. Thursday's forecast, fairly consistent temperatures, staying within that 78 to 79 degree range. Cloudy skies are being carried over from Thursday night, remaining steady all day long with some potential for some stray showers happening later on in the afternoon. Wind speeds are staying also pretty consistent at 15 miles per hour. Our hourly planner for Thursday, by 8 a.m. we're sitting at a pretty cool 54 degrees, rising up to 63 by 10 a.m. That 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. range, we're rising all the way up to 69 degrees, capping off between 2 to 5 p.m. Once again, as by 2 p.m. our temperatures are up to 74 degrees. Wind speeds are decreasing just a little bit from Wednesday's forecast, 4 miles per hour at 8 a.m., getting up to that 12 mile per hour range by 2 p.m. Thursday night's forecast, low of 54 degrees, cloudy skies early on, transitioning into some pretty late thunderstorms as we get into early Friday morning. Wind speeds are also sitting at 13 miles per hour. Now here in a little bit, we'll talk about some heavy rainfall and the potential for some flash flooding across the country in Hawaii. But for now, back to you, Allison.
Thanks, Emma. This week was one of remembrance and celebration as the Haskell community remembered and celebrated the life of Cole Brings Plenty. Good Morning Indian Country's Caden Baird was there for the second annual Cole Brings Plenty Memorial 5K Run and 3K Walk, which took place Saturday morning.
It was a chilly and breezy day at the Billy Mills cross-country course at Haskell, but the moment was filled with warmth and compassion as the second annual Cole Brings Plenty 5K Run and 2K Walk took place last Saturday. Organizer and friend of Cole, Jamie Morris, says that this event is to keep Cole's legacy alive.
I just wanted to share his legacy with everybody and the type of person he was, and I'm sure like everybody, or he would especially love this.
Cole, a Haskell student just 27 years of age, was reported missing in April of 2024 and was found dead a few days later after police had found his abandoned car in a rural area of Kansas. Authorities ruled his death a suicide, but the family is still not convinced and believes that the department did not do a full investigation, a loss that is still being felt in Haskell and the Native community to this day.
I was a really good friend with Cole, and like our whole friend group was like basically in the library all the time, and so I kind of just grew a friendship with him. And when he passed, it took a toll on our friend group.
Jamie hopes to keep this day of remembrance going as long as she can.
We started up last year, and I just wanted to continue it on, and as long as we can. So I'm excited for that.
For GMIC, Caden Baird.
Along with the 5K, a round dance was held at Coffin Sports Complex to honor Cole Brings Plenty and to support his family. GMIC's Caden Baird went to Coffin to interview organizers of the event and Cole's family about what this round dance means to them.
A night of remembrance occurred last Saturday night as the Cole Brings Plenty Memorial and Round Dance was held to show support for the family and Cole's life and legacy.
To me, it feels good. My son's not forgotten, and he's remembered in a good way. And we want to keep supporting this effort and looking for answers.
Before any dancing could begin, smudging and a prayer was given to all those in attendance. And emotional support wasn't the only help given, as a raffle and various items such as beads and belts were sold at the event with proceeds given to the family.
We want to honor them or keep letting them know that we're still here for them, because grieving is hard, especially when you have no answers, and this in his case.
The lack of answers refer to the fact that despite Cole's death being ruled a suicide by police, the family believes otherwise and has suspicions as to how the investigation was handled in the first place.
Everything that they said that they were doing for us, they weren't. They never did. So from his phone being pinged, that never occurred. From his financial records, they never did look at those. If they did, they would have found that his credit card was used right across the road from where his vehicle was found, and he was found.
Joe says the situation he faced is nothing new to natives in this country, past or present.
This country has a long history of killing Indians, and that's a fact. And we need to understand that too, as ourselves as Indian people, because if we don't learn from those mistakes or try to correct them, it's only going to continue.
Cole's life and legacy can still be felt in the Haskell and Native community.
We always say, "Hi, cousin." Every time I see him in the library, I say, "Hi, cousin. Hey, cousin." It was just, so I miss that about him. Took it very hard when he passed away. So he was just the epitome of what a Lakota man should be.
For GMIC, Caden Baird.
Thanks, Caden. We here at Good Morning Indian Country would like to express our deepest gratitude to the community for their unwavering support in honoring our dear friend. Having worked alongside him for 2 years, I can attest that he was truly a valued member of our team. It was an absolute honor to share this very desk with him. His impact on Indian Country's film and media was so great, and his legacy will continue to inspire us forever.
Good Morning Indian Country is supported by Press Forward, the nationwide initiative strengthening communities through local news.
back to GMIC. I am Trina Ticini with a look into the University of Kansas Powwow and Indigenous Cultures Festival. I'm here with Jancita Warrington. Jancita, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I am Menominee, Potawatomi, and Ho-Chunk. I was born and raised on the Menominee Reservation, which is my father's reservation in Wisconsin. But I have lived in Kansas since I graduated. I am a Haskell Indian Nations University graduate as well as a University of Kansas graduate. And I currently serve Governor Kelly as her Executive Director of Native American Affairs for the state.
Okay. So why is it important to keep the campus powwows going in the future for the long run?
Representation is everything, and I think that our time has come and our voices are being heard, and so it is vitally important for us to be able to tell our own story, to shape the narrative of our history, and be able to proudly represent that from a first-hand account. That's always, oration has always been something that's been highly respected in tribal communities. And so for us to continue to do that and be that representation here is important because we've not always had that platform.
So can you tell me a little about the events that are happening and where can I find the details of these events?
Sure. The powwow is just one of the many things that are going on the day of the Indigenous Cultures Festival. Our morning starts out with a teepee raising at 9:30. We have several workshops that go on simultaneously throughout the day along with the powwow. We have interactive cultural workshops like beading lanyards, beading pouches. We have fabric applique bags. We have beaded corn cobs and a Native American book highlight and reading. That's a more family-oriented event. We have a Indigenous filmmaker here through the Indigenous Arts Initiative, Black Horse Low, that will be giving a panel discussion. We also have interactive things like 2 sessions of hand games that will go on. We'll have a student scholarship showcase, a Haskell history lecture, and then we'll have a Powwow 101, all available, free and open to the public for people to come in and experience variations of our culture and our history.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of fun. It's like a lot of events to happen.
Yeah.
So who can attend?
Anybody can attend. It's free and open to the public. It's for all ages. It's a family-oriented event. We, again, have specific events and opportunities for children and their families. And so we highly encourage every age, anybody that can attend. If you've come in the past, hopefully you're going to come back this year and bring a friend.
Okay. So children, you could bring children to the powwow then?
Yes, yes. We love to have children around and, you know, in the culture. That's something that's highly encouraged. Children are part of that circle and everything that we do, and so yes, we encourage them to come. They are our future leaders, and we want them to participate and to experience this early on so that they have a first-hand account of Indigenous cultures.
Okay. So what is inappropriate things to do at the powwow if there was like a person that's new to the powwow and they don't really know anything much about it?
Sure. You can come to the Powwow 101 talk that will be held at 10:30 that morning. And we go over just what a powwow is, what you'll see at the powwow, a little bit of the history of the dances that you'll see. And then we have an ending segment that kind of talks about things that you might want to be mindful of that day while attending. We just ask people that there's no list of things that you can't do, but we just ask that everybody be respectful and be open-minded as they come here, like we would in any other family-oriented public event. We just don't violate people's personal space. We be careful in the way that we, interact with children. Again, if you want to take a picture of somebody, we ask that you just ask permission first, and especially if you're trying to take pictures of children, for many different reasons today in our society, we understand that that's not always appropriate, and that's equally so at this event. And so we just ask people to be mindful and pay the same respects that we would in any other public space.
Okay. So if I wanted to dance, when can I, and who do I ask?
So anybody can dance at the powwow. It's a cultural celebration. The MC will be key to understanding what's going on throughout the day at the event. They are the announcer, and so they'll announce things that are going on at the time and things that are coming up. If you want to dance and want to participate or try, we encourage anybody to come out and do that and feel the good energy that's put out that day. You'll hear the announcer talk about the grand entry, and that's the beginning of how the powwow starts. And throughout the different sessions, he'll call for an intertribal, and that's when you see people that don't necessarily have tribal clothing on, but just have regular street clothes come out and dance. And anybody and anyone's welcome to come out and dance during that time.
Okay. So is there anything else that you would like to add?
Just that the event has a Facebook page. If you want to know more information or up-to-date information, you can always visit the Indigenous Dance and Cultures Festival Facebook page. And if you want to see a schedule of events with times and locations, you can find that at www.powwow.ku.edu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jancita Warrington, for the interview.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to this year's KU's Powwow and Indigenous Cultural Festival.
Yep, thank you for having me.
There are also more events that are of the partners of the Indigenous Cultures Festival and are opportunities to the public that want to be more involved with the Indigenous community.
Thanks to Jancita Warrington telling us more about the upcoming KU and Indigenous Cultures Festival. We are excited for the powwow. Now, Emma Coffey is here to tell us about the weather across Indian country. Emma?
Thanks, Allison. Well, while the Lawrence area can be expecting some rain later this week, across the country in Hawaii, they are already experiencing some pretty heavy rain and the potential for some pretty severe floods and flash flooding. Now, taking a look at this graphic, anywhere you see that light green and that dark green, that's where they're currently having a flash flood warning, and this is as of 12 p.m. their time, which when you convert it over is around 5 p.m. here in Lawrence. So it's pretty accurate as of today. Anywhere towards the middle where you see the yellow, that's where the heaviest rain is going to occur. It's only going to get even heavier as we get further inland, especially in this Honolulu area and further west. Anywhere with the yellow or the dark red is also where you might see the potential for some tornado watches as well as some pretty severe thunderstorm watches as well. Over the next 4 days, that Hawaii area is going to be having the potential for some pretty heavy rainfall. Anywhere you see this green is where that potential for 1 to up to 3 inches of rain might occur over the next 4 days. Anywhere with that yellow, we're going to start to get up to that 5-inch potential. Anywhere with the dark orange is going anywhere from 6 to 8 potential inches of rain over the course of these next few days, mostly concentrated on those western islands, especially in this Honolulu area. And as we get further east, that's where we're going to have a little bit less potential for all of that severe rain. Zooming over to our extended forecast here in Lawrence. Like we said earlier, Wednesday and Thursday remaining pretty consistent temperature-wise at 78 degrees, dropping down just a little bit by Friday to 62. We're right back up to 80 degrees by Saturday, remaining pretty consistent throughout the weekend. 74 on Sunday, all the way up to 85 degrees on Monday. That's probably going to be our highest potential for what is starting to feel like spring in Lawrence, and by Tuesday we've dropped back down to 73 degrees. Reflecting that is also our potential for rain and clouds. Wednesday, partly cloudy skies all day long with those higher wind speeds. Thursday, cloudy skies remaining fairly consistent, transitioning into rain showers by Friday. Saturday, those rain showers are going to continue to carry over up until those early afternoon hours where those partly cloudy skies are going to start to poke their way through. By Sunday, we're back to those showers and wind all day long. The rain's going to let up just a little bit on Monday, partly cloudy skies consistently all day Monday, and by Tuesday, our morning showers are going to start to force their way back through. Well, that's all we have for weather this week. Stay tuned because after the break, Jacob Johnson will be here with all things sports.
Thank you to the Henry Luce Foundation for their support of Good Morning Indian Country.
Welcome back to a weekly recap of sports all over Indian Country. I'm Jacob Johnson, and today we have some great content ahead. Starting off with the softball team that picked up their third win of this season against Michigan University last Tuesday, and speaking from Missouri. Now our news partner Eli Greenwald with KUJH has more on this brand new stadium Haskell has built for their softball team.
At Haskell Indian Nations University, located directly across from the football stadium, is a brand new softball park, named to be determined, with a beautiful new turf field.
So everything you see out there is brand new. So they tore apart everything from, there was a scoreboard out there and then that's all gone. Everything from the electrical, there were no lights.
Playing on a turf field is significantly easier, especially as an infielder when it comes to fielding ground balls.
You know, naturally the girls have a little bit more confidence with themselves on the field just because there's not going to be bad hops or anything like that on a turf field.
Being on turf kind of just allows you to go all out. I think sometimes in practice or in a game, the fear of being scraped up, I think that's not existent out here.
The new ballpark won't only help play on the field, but it will also help improve and advance the program off the field as well.
I think that the turf then builds that into showing recruits that we have this phenomenal field, and then being able to gain more athletes that are experienced.
The new facility is already making an impact when it comes to recruitment.
So we have 14 girls coming in next fall, 3 JUCO transfers, 1 NAIA transfer, and then 10 true freshmen.
This ballpark is a representation of the hard work of the Haskell softball program and the athletic department and shows the university's commitment to the team.
Being on this field, it kind of represents something even outside of softball. I think it just stands for the capacity of and how capable us as Indian people are. It makes me proud to know that our institution and our athletic department's investing in this sport.
The attitude in the athletic department at Haskell is that this is the start of a big rise in the softball program.
I think it's a start to a new beginning. That's kind of what I kind of look at it like.
Haskell softball had their first game here at home on March 21st against Heston College, and they are back here at home on April 16th against Kansas Christian College. For Good Morning Indian Country, I'm Eli Greenwald.
Haskell's next game will be tonight against the University of St. Mary's, right here on the new turf here in Lawrence, Kansas, and the first pitch will be at 3 p.m. From the turf to the track, the men and women's team competed in Emporia State last weekend, in which we had a few podium placers. Naomi Barrage took second place in the men's 800 with a time of 1 minute, 55.87 seconds. And not far behind was Javen Hale and Seth Lynch coming in 6th and 7th place. As for the men's 1500, Javen Hale came in third place with a time of 4 minutes and 2.94 seconds. And as most sports fans know, golf season is well underway as the Masters is this weekend. And as for Haskell, they are currently competing in the Lark Invitational in Heston, Kansas. But that's all I have for today as for this week, but make sure to stay tuned after the break for a roundup of some local sporting events.
Good Morning Indian Country is supported by the University of Kansas William Allen White School of Journalism and Mass Communications.
Welcome back. Thunderbird Theater will be hosting Wa Ushpe Wakdaya, a college education by Alexandra Hesbrook Ramier. The show will feature the Haskell Choir, band, and many more on April 17th at 7 p.m. in the Haskell Auditorium. You won't want to miss it, as I will be starring in the lead role as Tiffany. Also, a 2-day workshop event featuring ledger art and storytelling by Tokeya Wachiyu Richardson. Participants will learn the history of ledger art and create their own piece. This event is on April 18th and 19th at 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Louisiana Street in Lawrence, Kansas. The Flint Hills Wisdom Keepers gather for their One with the Land event on April 24th through 26th, bringing together elders to share ancient wisdom, ceremonies, and their own traditions. To learn more, visit the website fhwisdomkeepers.org. And stay connected this powwow season with ICT's newsletter On the Powwow Trail. Get on-the-ground stories, highlights, and monthly powwow listings. Sign up for ictnews.org/newsletters. And as always, thanks for watching this episode of Good Morning Indian Country. Another thank you to Press Forward, the Henry Luce Foundation, and the William Allen White School of Journalism for their support of our work. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Good Morning Indian Country. Stay good, Indian Country, and we'll see you next week.